What's up, TBS crew? It's your boy Steph back with another reaction. This time we have Nightmare Files, 4 creepy true horror stories never heard before, featuring my guy Unit 522 and Mr. Scarecrow. Y'all already know I'm excited about this because y'all know I fuck with Nightmare Files, but I've been fucking with Unit 522 for a hot little minute now. I ain't even gonna lie. I've been fucking with Unit for a good minute now. So, man, I see in the description there's 4 stories. So, story 1 is Nightmare Files. Story 2 is Mr. Scarecrow. Story 3 is Nightmare Files again. And then Unit is going last with story 4. So, y'all already know what to expect from Nightmare Files and Unit 522. Y'all know they bring that shit. Oh, it was uploaded April 27, 2019, by the way. Mr. Scarecrow, I think I've heard a couple stories that he was featured in, but never one of his own. So, you know, I'm going to give it a listen. I'm pretty sure he's dope if Nightmare Files and Unit 522 are collaborated with him. So, I'm definitely going to have to check out his content, too. So, again, just like I did for the other Nightmare Files video, the 4 scary true prom night horror stories. A lot of links are going to be in this description of mine. There's going to be a link to Nightmare Files channel, Unit 522's channel, Mr. Scarecrow's channel, a link to this original video so I can see it for yourselves without my commentary. Also be links to all of my social medias. Get at your boy and see the personal life that I don't upload to YouTube. Without further ado, let's get into it. I already know this is going to be dope. I know to expect some scary jump scare noises.
A few years ago when I was in college, I would take odd jobs to pay my half of the rent. One day in particular, I was babysitting a set of twin boys that were 3 years old. The mother told me she hired me because she would only hire men due to her crazy ex-husband. I was confused when she told me that, so I asked why. She showed me a picture of him. It said not to answer the door for him, don't let him in, and to not let him see the kids.
Oh my God.
I just said okay. I thought she was being dramatic, but I went along with it.
This already ain't going good.
After she left, the kids seemed harmless, so I told my girlfriend to come over.
Seemed harmless.
After that, there was a knock at the door. I figured it was her, so I opened the door. It was the ex-husband. This guy looked a lot scarier in real life than he did.
Here we go again with, okay, I'm expecting company, so instead of checking the door, especially at fucking nighttime, let me just open the door because I'm assuming it's going to be the person that's supposed to be coming over to hang out with me. Really? That's crazy. We are only a minute and 24 seconds into this video, and already the bullshit is starting to suffocate me. You and or these kids and or this house is about to get fucked up.
In the pictures, he towered over me with tattoos everywhere, including his neck.
Oh, that's even worse.
Bald head and gold teeth.
Cliche.
He asked to see his kids. I didn't know what to do, so I just told him, hold on, and I closed the door.
Lock it.
I really didn't know what to do, so I called the woman and she didn't answer. So I texted her. Still nothing. Eventually, he started knocking on the door some more. But I would talk through the door, letting him know that I can't let him in. Nor could I let the children out to see him due to the mother's request.
You shouldn't even told them the kids were
I
there.
didn't like that too much.
Hell no.
I stopped talking. Then the knocking stopped. And the man said, okay. But it was an okay that sounded like he was going to get me back for not letting him in.
Okay.
I look outside and I see that he pulled off.
Bet.
I didn't call the police because he left.
What?
So my girlfriend texted me and it says she'll be there in 2 minutes. Then a few minutes go by and she isn't there yet. Then I see one of the twins looking out the window and he says, "There's Daddy." I look out the window and I saw the most disturbing thing you could think of.
Which is?
The man was on top of my girlfriend, stabbing her repeatedly in the side of her head with a
Oh.
screwdriver.
What?
Her body was shaking, but she wasn't making any noise. And there was blood everywhere, all over her head, face, ground, and that man. I wanted to burst out of that door to help her, but I couldn't bring myself to do it.
Hell no.
So
Pussy.
I called the police. The man just stood there, staring at the house. He never tried to escape, just waited for the police as if he were crazy.
He is.
The
Obviously.
twins' mother and the cop showed up at the same time. And she was hysterical, going between Spanish and English while crying. I felt numb, guilty, and ashamed that I called my girlfriend over. And she was killed. And I was a coward that stayed in the house. Till this day, I still feel the guilt.
You should. I saw that coming. You a whole bitch. Man, I hope all the other stories aren't this depressing.
4 years ago, when I was a senior in high school, my parents had to go on a business trip over the weekend. They told me I could have some friends over, but no parties. They left Friday night. It was Saturday morning when I called 5 of my friends and said my parents had gone for the weekend. We all agreed to hang out that night at my place. We invited our girlfriends too, so there were 12 of us altogether. I got plenty of snacks and drinks and even ordered pizza and wings. I was hanging out with my girlfriend in front of the pool, watching my friends swim. Not everyone was swimming. Some were relaxing or just making out. I had to use the bathroom, so I started to walk to the door of my house. As I was walking,
I can't swim.
I heard leaves getting quietly crushed in the bushes. I really didn't pay much attention to it though.
Why not?
When I finished up in the bathroom, I looked at the time. It was about 12:30. I was getting tired, so when I went back outside, I told everybody that it was pretty late, and I didn't want neighbors complaining about anything. It was about 1 in the morning when everyone left. I was brushing my teeth, and I looked out the window. I saw something in my pool. It looked like a human silhouette. I didn't think much of it. I thought I was just seeing things because of the lack of sleep. I fell asleep and woke up at about 9:30. I went to the bathroom and took a quick glance out the window and back, but something caught my eye, so I looked outside. I saw a man standing in my pool, facing away from my house. He was tall and bald. He looked nothing like any of my friends. I was so confused, so I went outside without even using the bathroom. I walked over to the pool, yelling at that person, trying to confront him.
Really?
But he didn't even move. I walked closer, and then I got goosebumps all over my body. A scary thought went through my mind. I walked closer again, so I could see his face. Once I stood in front and looked at him, I screamed so loud the whole town probably heard me. In my pool was a human taxidermy with no eyes. I screamed, running back to my house, and for some reason, I turned around while I was running. I saw someone in a black hoodie with the hood up and his head tilted a bit down. I locked all the doors and called the cops. When I was on the phone, I decided to make sure all my windows were locked. I got to a window and came face to face with the hooded man. He was so creepy looking. He had a dirty face with a messy beard, but what really stood out was his smile. It was so big and psychotic. He was missing teeth, and the ones he had were yellow and some were chipped. I ran away and locked myself in the bathroom. The cops came in about 5 minutes and searched my yard and house. Nothing was found, and there was nothing left behind. The man and the taxidermy were gone. I told the cops everything and what the man looked like. The cops said that when they found him, they would let me know. But here I am, 4 years later, without a notice. I still live in the same house with my parents to this
What?
day.
Ah.
I fear that that man is probably still out there. But what really kills me is that he could show up at my house again at any time.
After that creepy of a story, if I wasn't expecting that jump scare noise, that would have scared the fuck out of me. You bullshitting.
I'm 30 years old, and this story took place when I was 13.
You still living in the same
My
house?
mother was a single mom, and she had to work 2 jobs.
Playing around.
She worked at a grocery store in the morning and a bar at night. So I was home alone a lot, but it was okay because I was used to it.
It's not
I
okay,
could
but
cook myself some dinner and walk back and forth to school. I was a pretty responsible kid for my age.
responsible.
I was watching TV while eating ice cream, and someone knocked at the front door. I was wondering who it could be, as my friends never came out this late and my mom would always use her key to get in. I opened the door, and it was a man standing there with his hands in his pockets.
I don't know about y'all, but that doesn't sound very responsible to me. And I don't like this picture right here that I stopped the video on. There's just this room, there's a staircase. It looks like a living room, and that could be like connected to a kitchen or something. But there's a nice size shadow person in the adjacent room over there with the light on the chandelier or whatever, with the chandelier in the room. There's a nice size shadow person right there. And that, along with this story and the previous stories, are giving me goosebumps. So I'm going to continue with this, but you just opening the door because you assume that it's maybe your friend or your mom didn't use her key or whatever the fuck you thought. Yeah, you're playing around a lot right now. You might get got.
I said hello. He replied, "Hello, young lady. Are your parents home?"
Oh, you're a little girl too?
Stupidly,
Yes.
I said no. My mom isn't home right now. You have to come back tomorrow. He then said with a surprised smile on his face, "Oh, you're all alone, huh?"
See,
I said, yeah.
he's
I
one
am."
of them.
He replied with, "Okay, young lady. Have a nice night. Don't get into any trouble."
See,
He then walked away and I closed the door. He seemed friendly, but also weird at the same time. He was a little funny looking though. He was balding and had 70s styles glasses on, with a mustache and bags under his eyes like he never slept.
why is everybody bald?
About 10 minutes passed, and there was another knock at the door.
Don't open it.
I got up to answer it, but before I opened the door, something told me to put the chain on. I don't know why, but my gut told me to do that.
Just do it.
It was strange because we really didn't use the chain. But I'm glad I did, because as soon as I opened the door, it was pushed open, but abruptly stopped by the chain. Before I could even say or do anything, I looked through the crack of the door to see the same man again. And he said in a startled voice, Oh, hey there. I just wanted to make sure you were okay," as he stuttered. It was like he knew he failed getting inside the house and tried to play off any suspicion by speaking quickly and making it seem like he didn't just obviously try coming into the house. I said, "I'm fine, thanks," and I shut the door. At that time, I didn't really understand the situation or the dangers of what just happened,
Call the police.
but still, I was a bit freaked out
Call the
and
police.
wanted my mom to come home soon. An hour went by, and I was still thinking about what happened, so I started to watch a movie, trying to keep my mind occupied, when I heard,
"Hey, let me in quick. I gotta tell you something."
It This was the scariest situation I ever been in my life. It was the man once again. He was talking through the letterbox. I shouted, "Leave me alone." The letterbox closed. Then the man started banging on the front door, screaming, "Let me in, you little shit," while slamming the front door handle up and down, trying to get in. I just stood back crying, praying he doesn't get in. He eventually gave up and left. My mom came home about 30 minutes later, just to find me crying, and I told her everything that happened. We told the police, but they never found this guy.
Of course not.
I look back, and I think how grateful I am that I had the feeling to put the chain on the door. I hate to think what that man would have done if he had managed to get in.
Goosebumps. Come on, Unit 522.
I'm a female, and this story happened about 2 weeks ago.
My guy.
I was at a bus stop after spending the day at my friend's house, waiting to go home. I sat scrolling through Instagram on my phone as I waited. I would look up every now and then to check to see if my bus was coming, or to see if anyone else was around. I noticed a man across the street looking in my direction. I didn't think much of it in that moment, and carried on looking at my phone. After about 2 minutes, I look up again to see the man is still standing there staring at me.
Keep your eyes on him.
I was thinking this was weird, and I tried not to pay attention to him, and was hoping my bus would turn up soon.
Don't ignore it.
After 3 minutes of nervously looking through my phone, trying to ignore the strange man, I glanced up a third time to see that he wasn't there anymore. I let out a small sigh of relief. 5 minutes go by, then someone tapped me on my shoulder, and I turned around to see that it was the creepy man that had been watching me from earlier. He said,
Got a light?
with a bent cigarette in his mouth, also grinning with his yellow teeth. I replied nervously, no, I don't smoke.
I bet you don't.
He let out a quiet chuckle. I didn't know what to think of that, but he was making me very uncomfortable now.
I bet.
He stood by me at the bus stop and proceeded to light his cigarette with a match as he walked about 15 feet from me. I wonder why he would ask me for a light if he had matches. Maybe it was just some excuse to talk to me.
Yeah.
About a minute passed until he spoke again.
Watch him.
While smoking, he said,
Been a long time since I've had some tail.
he took another puff of his
What?
cigarette
Oh,
and
hell no.
continued.
Yeah, you'll do just fine.
Ooh.
He threw his cigarette
Fuck.
to the ground and then turned towards me really fast. My heart was beating out of my chest, and I was breathing heavily, going into fight or flight mode. That's when I saw the lights of my bus pull around the corner. The man saw the lights and ran off.
The cars
I waved the bus down in a panic.
and the buses
I was so scared of what could have happened to
going
me.
in reverse,
Thank God the bus showed up when it did.
throwing me off. It's been a minute since I had some tail. Is that really what some men call it? Tail? Shit, I call it getting some ass. But some tail? That sounds so formal and politically correct.
Nightmare Files.
Oh, God. I'd have to say the scariest one was definitely the third story. Or the second story. That second story where this person had a few friends over and you wake up to look outside to see some figure in your pool. Come to find out it's a taxidermied human being with no eye sockets. Well, with no eyes. And then that third story, bro, where your little girl left at home and you opened the door. Your mom left you home all the time because she was working late and you were okay with it because you were responsible. Little bitch, that wasn't responsible? Fuck you mean? Nah. You opened the door because you had assumed it was probably one of your friends or your mother forgot to use her key or whatever you said. Nah, that's straight bullshit. I don't even want kids. But if I do end up having them, oh, they gonna know the safety precautions. Don't open the door for anybody. Any relative of mine or friend of mine that's coming over to hang out, like when I come home or whatever, or to watch you, they're going to give me a call prior to them coming to my house. Ain't going to be no surprises. Nah, we ain't doing that shit, fella. Then this fucking last story where he started out across the street and then somehow he slithered his way on your side of the street and asked you for a light, which I agree was just some lame-brained attempt at holding some type of conversation with you or communicating with you in some way, shape, or form. And then he started turning on the perv vision, and he was like, it's been a while since I had some tail, since I had some pussy, since I had some ass. You'll do just nicely. What? No, man. Fuck all that, man. I'm so glad this title wasn't clickbait because I've never heard any of these stories before. None of them. And they could not have picked better people to narrate them than the ones they have in this video. Nightmare Files, Unit 522, and Mr. Scarecrow. By the way, Mr. Scarecrow, brother, you have yourself a new subscriber, and I'm tapping that bell icon so I will get notified every time you drop new content, man. I fucks with you. I definitely know you got talent if my guys Unit 522 and Nightmare Files fuck with you, man. I got you, homie. You got yourself a new sub, man. That's what's up. Which story did you guys think was the scariest? What did you think of my reaction? Leave all of your feedback down in the comment section below. That is it for this video, y'all. If you like my reaction, leave a like, a comment, and share the video. And if you really liked it, subscribe to the channel and tap that bell icon so you will get notified every time your boy Steph drop new content, which I do 7 times a week. That is all I got for y'all this time around. Your boy Steph is out.